This is a clip from a recent Pops live stream or video. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next one.
Let me switch gears for us over to Predator Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Are you familiar that this was a thing?
I am. Yep. I've seen the trailers, like, as it's been announced and stuff. So, yes, I am aware of it.
Yeah, just to be honest, not a huge fan of Predator stuff other than Predator. So I am in the minority, even in little nerd circles. I get it. For all of you want to throw the hate, go ahead. You're not going to be the first or the last. Even Predator 2 to me is mid. Predator 2 to me is mid. By the way, again, throwing more plugs from the comic books. If you read the Predator comic book, which is actually a sequel to Predator the movie, they should have just made that. They even could have. I don't know if you could have had Danny Glover. You could have just had another dude, but it works because it's about his brother, right? It's about Arnold Schwarzenegger's character's brother, and it's like it works better. But
Mm.
all the Predator stuff that's come after it, including Prey, they're all mid at best. They're all mid at best. But we're getting another one now. I didn't know what to think. I said, well, I'm going to watch this trailer, and you're just thrown into chaos right from the get-go in the trailer, and it's trying to stand up, it's doing its thing. And we get crazy creatures and stuff in this trailer, which I think is interesting. I didn't know about you, but I thought, okay, that could be an interesting angle. So some of that I think is interesting. But from what you've seen and heard, where are you at on even like giving the old Badlands a look?
So I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters, but I am still intrigued enough to where I definitely will eventually watch it. I really enjoyed Prey. I thought Prey was interesting. It was a different take on the concept of the Predator. There were parts where I was kind of like it was being like I felt like it was dragged on in certain parts of the film, but still feel like it was really good. The reason why I find Badlands intriguing is because it's another side of Predator and the species itself. So I kind of want to see where it goes from here. I'm not really sure on how I feel about the concept of like a human kind of, I don't want to say guiding, but that's kind of how it looks like it's happening. Like she's kind of there to guide, and we're not really sure as to what her character is supposed to be doing during that process, where he's supposed to be like in a training. But they do a lot of takes where, or they're showing where Elle Fanning is the character that's playing alongside the Predator, and it seems like she's kind of partnering with him, which is interesting that that would ever be a concept for a Predator. So it's, I don't know. I have like mixed feelings about it. I don't know yet because it's just a different take on the story. I am coming from it on another angle where I've only ever seen the theatrical, but I do feel like it's never going to top the original in my eyes. I kind of feel the same way about a lot of things when it comes to that. Even though I like certain things in the Alien franchise, the original has always been my favorite. So I mean, like I said, I'm willing to give it a shot, but I don't think I'll go out of my way to like go see it in theaters. It's not on my list.
So for people who don't know the whole story, the story is, quote, in the future on a remote planet, a young predator, a humanoid extraterrestrial tribal species, the predator. He's actually a runt. His name is Deck. An outcast of his clan finds an unlikely ally in Thea. Thea is a Weyland-Yutani, so yes, some alien crossover. A Weyland-Yutani synth who partners with Deck, and they embark on a treacherous journey in search of their ultimate adversary. So that's the general premise. I have to be honest. My issue, again, when we get back to Prey a little bit, no offense to Taylor, she's actually bigger and stronger than the main character in Prey. I believe Taylor holding her own more than I did that character in Prey. I was so
Yeah,
worn
that's
out
fair.
by the absurdity of the Predator cutting down all of these trained Native American warriors and then having this little girl like keep like I don't know. It grew tedious for me. And then at the
Mhm.
end, there's a little outtake that's animated where like all the Predator ships sort of are like, yeah, that's the end of all that, by the way. They're all just toast. Like it's
Mhm.
just done. Like it's sort of like the end of Prey doesn't seem like fall on most of the critics that were talking about the movie. I'm like, oh, there we go. Uh, this one, the interesting thing is actually the synth. And I know this sounds crazy coming from me, and it does seem a little weird that I'm leaning into the contradiction here with the girl boss thing. But I'm like, okay, so if we're gonna have the runt Predator, and I feel like this is almost like an AI metaphor. Like, could he be better and stronger and hold his own against his kind or some sort of adversary if he had an AI supplement robot? If he had a little AI partner to help him along the way. Now,
Mhm.
not look, that doesn't make me it doesn't make me thrilled. I'm not ready to run out and spend money on this or anything like that. And the trailer doesn't show me anything that's so great that I was like, oh yeah, that's good. That wins me over, or anything like that. I will say, at least the effects that
Yes,
actually
I
looks
will
better
say it does.
than the initial footage. Like the initial trailers and stuff look awful. They look bad. So at least this looked more cleaned up. And
Mhm.
yeah, I like that better. That looked better than some of the stuff we had seen previously. So in that regard, I was thrilled. Um, it yeah, I don't know. It Predator Badlands is one of those where I feel like it's going to be one of two things. It will either be a pretty big surprise and people will like it. It will be
Mhm.
legit because it's coming out in November. It's like it's around the corner.
Next week.
Or yeah, it's in a week or so that we're recording this. So that's another reason why we had to make sure we got to this right away.
Mhm.
Or it's fodder for YouTubers, and the YouTuber
Fair.
pylon will just be out of control
That's fair. Yeah.
because it's the people that they are. Like so again, I'm not going to try to throw shade at Dan Trachtenberg. I think he did what he can do. I don't think he's terrible by any means. I think he also kind of he did Prey, and he worked on this Predator Killer of Killers, which I hadn't seen. He's done some stuff with The Boys and other Black Mirror, even Stranger Things. So he's a decent creator. I just think
Mhm.
I think the studio's the problem, right? This is a Disney problem for me. I don't feel like they get Predator. I don't know. I also don't feel like this oozes the feeling of Predator. Like you were saying, why is the original the best one for you? Like, what is it about the original Predator to you that makes it a classic?
I think it's just like the hunting aspect of it throughout the whole film. Like you're seeing two perspectives of hunters, what they do in order to hide themselves but also to go after the enemy. And I feel like it's got horror aspects because the creature is hidden and you don't know where it's going to come and you hear it and it has that aspect of the reason why I love The Thing so much is it's this creepy thing that's hiding in the treetops. You don't know where it's at, but then you suddenly hear it and you know it's close by. And that terrifying nature that haunts the whole film is what grasps the audience. And then you have similar aspects of that in The Prey. It's just taking it more of a concept of instead of it being a military person who is being hunted down, it's a Native American. And then this is just throwing it in a whole different loop of what if the predator wasn't the strong one or not as strong and they have to prove themselves as a warrior, which is what it seems like their race is founded on. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with it. I agree with you. Like, it's kind of hard to tell which way it's going to go, but unfortunately, it's going to be either really well done and catch everyone off guard, or it's going to be a whole total flop, which is part of the reason why, because there's such an in middle, like in between, like not really knowing, I don't have any like real interest in seeing it immediately when it comes out, but I will look forward to seeing it eventually, like once it's probably streaming.
A fair analysis. I think Predator captures like the impossible. Like the first movie captures like the most ridiculous, stereotypical, to use the term, toxic men that you can possibly imagine, and then lining them all up, and they all get cut down by this beast that's here on a hunt. And the only
Hmm.
way to win is to not use the weapons and military strength, is actually to outsmart it. And then the franchise to me just never gets back to that concept of what would be the best way to overcome a hunter that's so much more technologically advanced than you, because you're basically the problem is most of the films just don't shy away from the fact that the technology it gives it such a ridiculous unfair advantage.
For
Prey
sure.
at least tries to address that differently. It's a shame that they just didn't. What to me to fix Prey, to be honest, I can lean into Prey. Just don't kill the brother. Have
That's
the
fair.
have the brother be
Yeah.
saved by the sister from that death and hurt the predator enough that it has to retreat and regroup, and then it attacks it. But they, as a brother sister team,
You're able
motivate
to
them as a
prevent it.
village, and that they overcome
Mhm.
as a group, as a team. It elevates her beyond, hey, she's a servant girl. She actually can be a co-leader of the tribe. She's just as good as her brother as being a leader. We shouldn't treat women badly. But that's the way to fix
Yep.
it. It really was not complicated. You don't have to, that again. So that's what I thought should have happened with Prey. They didn't get there with me. With this, it's like, well, what if a predator was a runt, and then we have this AI and this.
Mhm.
I
We'll
just
see.
don't. Yeah, just don't know. And I felt like with the final trailer, I hadn't talked about it on the channel. We'd at least try to plug out there some thoughts on this trailer. I don't know that they did anything that knocked my socks off or made me want to see it. I also don't think that it made me uh, kind of like totally adverse to it either, if that makes sense.
Kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like I'm just very mid on it is how I feel right now. And that's not
Mhm.
a good place or a bad place. That's just the place of where I'm at. So, yeah.
Yep.
What do you guys think out there? And you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think.